Buenos días, bienvenidos a todos al Instituto de Ingeniería de la UNAM. Voy a proceder en inglés debido a la presencia de una delegación de la Universidad de Nanjing. Good morning, distinguished guests, colleagues and friends. On behalf of the Universidad Nacional Autónoma de Mexico, in particular the UNAM's office in China, the International Head Office, CRI, the Postgraduate Program of Master and Doctorate in Engineering, the Postgraduate Program on Computer Science and Engineering, and the Institute of Engineering, it is my great pleasure to welcome you to this special academic event. My name is Rosa Maria Flores. I am the Deputy Director of Hydraulics and Environmental Engineering, and I'm going to be the Master of Ceremonies today. We are deeply honored to host this lecture entitled Reflections and Outlooks on Artificial Intelligence, delivered by a most distinguished guest, Dr. Tieniu, academician and chair of the Nanjing University Council. Please, an applause. We now start the inauguration ceremony, and to this end, we are honored to introduce the distinguished personalities who make the table of honor. In the first place, Dr. Rosa Maria Ramírez Zamora, Director of the Institute of Engineering of Universidad Nacional Autónoma de México. Dr. Tieniu, academician and chair of the Nanjing University Council. Welcome. Dr. Eduardo Sandoval Romero, he's a researcher in the UNAM. Please welcome him. And I hope that Dr. Adalberto Noyola is connected via Zoom. He is the head of the Office of UNAM in China. He's in there. Welcome, Dr. Noyola. We are also honored by the presence of the professors from the Nanjing University and the academic entities from UNAM that were mentioned before. So thank you all for being here. And it is now my honor to present Dr. Rosa Maria Ramírez Zamora, who will deliver a brief message of welcome. Please, Dr. Ramírez.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Flores. Good morning, everyone. Dear Professor Tieniu, Professor also Eduardo Sandoval, good morning. Please be welcome to this Institute of Engineering. It is a great honor for the Universidad Nacional Autónoma de México to warmly welcome Dr. Tieniu, academician and chair of the Nanjing University Council, to our institution. Dr. Tan, we are truly privileged to host your distinguished lecture, Reflections and Outlook on Artificial Intelligence. Your presence not only enriches our academic community, particularly the postgraduate program of the Master and Doctorate in Engineering, as well as the Computer Science and Engineering, but also strengthens the bridges of collaboration between China and Mexico. We are equally pleased to welcome Professor Li Shi, Deputy Director of the School of Engineering, and also Professor Dan Yuni from the Office of Foreign Affairs of Nanjing University. As one of China's most prestigious and historic institutions, Nanjing University plays a central role in advancing global academic excellence. And we are truly grateful for your presence here today. Thank you very much. We are also delighted to have Dr. Adalberto Noyola, head of the Yunnan office in China, join us via Zoom. We will very much appreciate a few words from him to mark these special occasions. Please, Doctor.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Rosa Maria. Hello, dear colleagues, distinguished visitors from Nanjing University. From the representative office of UNAM in Beijing, I send you my warmest welcome, and especially to Professor Tieniu, chairman of the prestigious Nanjing University, one of the top 10 universities in China. Dear Dr. Rosa Maria Ramírez, Director, Dean of the Institute of Engineering. Dr. Rosa Maria Flores and Dr. Eduardo Sandoval, thank you very much for organizing this lecture. Also, I would like to express my warm welcome to all the colleagues and students attending in presence or virtually this event. Dear colleagues from Nanjing University, we are delighted to host you today at UNAM and at the Institute of Engineering, which, by the way, is where my research lab is. I'm proudly part of its academic community. Both Nanjing University and UNAM, public universities serving societies, have a long-standing tradition of excellence in teaching, research, and innovation. In a world where global challenges demand collective solutions, the exchange of knowledge and perspective across culture becomes more important than ever. We are very interested in exploring areas of common interest where our strengths can complement each other, whether in sciences, engineering, technology, social sciences, or humanities and arts. I believe that we may join forces and talents so we can develop initiatives that will benefit not only our universities, but also the broader societies we serve. We look forward to a fruitful dialogue and to building new opportunities of collaboration in areas such as student mobility at all levels, faculty exchanges, joint research projects, and academic initiatives with Nanjing University. On behalf of UNAM, a warm welcome once again. Please count on the UNAM office in China to help identify and take concrete actions towards a fruitful cooperation. Thank you again, and bienvenidos.
Thank you very much, Dr. Noyola. Thank you for being in here because in China it's midnight, I think. Now it's my honor to invite Dr. Eduardo Sandoval Romero from the Institute of Applied Science and Technology of UNAM to kindly present the academic and professional trajectory of our distinguished lecturer. Please, Dr. Romero.
Thank you. Let me introduce the Professor Tan. Professor Tan research interests include image processing, computer vision, pattern recognition, and other related topics on artificial intelligence. He has authored or co-authored, co-edited more than 10 monographs or books, and they published more than 600 research papers in mainstream referred journals and conferences. He holds more than 100 grant patents. He has received many awards. He has achievements scientific, including several national scientific and technological awards, as well as the King Sun Fu Prize, which is the most prestigious award from the International Association for Pattern Recognition. He is an academician of the China's Academy of the Science, a fellow of the World Academy of Science, for the advancement of science in the developing countries, an international fellow of the Royal Academy of Engineering in the UK, and the corresponding member of the Brazilian Academy of Science. He is also a fellow of EEE and AIPR. Welcome, Professor Tan.
Thank you very much, Dr. Sandoval Romero. And now we kindly invite the members of the presiding table to take their seats in the auditorium, please, so we can listen to the presentation of Dr. Tieniu. Well, the talk he's going to give today, the lecture, is Reflections and Outlook on Artificial Intelligence. We're very pleased to have you here, and you're very welcome. I'm going to show you, if you can, si pueden poner por favor la presentación.
Well, dear friends, colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your very warm reception to me and my colleagues from Nanjing University, and also for your warm introduction of my talk here. Thank you also for being here, either offline here, in a physical presence, or online, virtually, for my talk today. So this is really inspiration for me. For me, this is my third time to this wonderful country, and I just had a pleasure of having a meeting with your leadership early on before I came here, and I do see huge opportunities and potentials for us to work together, for Nanjing University and ULM to work together to address some of the burning issues facing not only China, Mexico, but also the entire humanity. So I'm honored to have this opportunity to talk about one of the hottest research areas, that is artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence, of course, is my own research area. I've been working in this field for almost 40 years. So before I get into the technical details, let me say a few words about our university, Nanjing University, or NJU. For some of you who may know a little bit Chinese, Nan, or Jing, means capital in Chinese. Nan means south. So Nanjing, southern capital. Beijing is the capital city of today's China. Bei means north. So Beijing, northern capital. And Beijing, of course, is in the northern part of China, and Nanjing is in the southern part of China. And Nanjing is Beijing's predecessor as China's capital city. So we are located in Nanjing, of course, and also in Suzhou, as was mentioned earlier. So we are one of the oldest and most prestigious universities in China. In fact, before 1952, so I show 1952 here, 1952 is a year when the Chinese central government decided to reorganize some of the higher education resources in China. So during that year, many of Nanjing University's faculties or schools either became independent universities or became parts of other universities. So in today's China, we have about 3,000 universities. Many of them have their roots from Nanjing University. So we were established, the main route, I should say, the university has two routes. The main route was established in 1902. So based on this main route, we are 123 years old this year. We have, this route used to be called the National Central University. So that was before 1949. And 1949 is the year when the People's Republic of China was founded, when the capital city of China moved from Nanjing to Beijing. Yeah? So this is the main route. So the main route, as I said, it used to be called the National Central University. So during that period of time, Nanjing University, or its predecessor, the National Central University, was a bit like ULM, the biggest, both in terms of the number of people, the number of disciplines, etc. Yeah. And of course, after the splitting in 1952, we became smaller, but we have remained as one of the top universities. So this is the main route. Now the second route, the minor route, goes even further. So the second route was established in 1888. Interesting enough, the university ended this second route. The name of the second route ended with a name called the University of Nanking. And Nanking is the Cantonese pronunciation of Nanjing. Yeah? You're with me? So basically the same. So this second route came into university, became part of the university after the universities, after the splitting of many of the departments of the university. So that's a bit of a history of the university. So it's one of the oldest and a very important university. So I should also say, as you can see there, many modern disciplines in China study here, because many of the scientific disciplines studied from Nanjing University. So in this sense, the university has really played a very unique role in China for China's advancement of higher education and science and development. So it is a very unique university. And of course, I'm very proud to be the current chair of the CPC Council. And the CPC Council is the highest decision-making body. And then under the CPC Council, there is the management team led by the president and his deputies. So that is the structure of governance in Chinese universities. So we are, as I said, we are not big, not like Ulan. You have thousands and thousands of students and people. So we are smallish. So we have a little more than 46,000 students, but 2/3 of them are postgraduate students. So that's a bit different. And we have 41 schools, basically covering all the areas of humanities, arts, and social sciences, basic science, engineering science, and life and medical sciences. Right? But no agriculture, no forestry, because they all went away during the reshuffle in 1952. We used to have everything, right? So as I say, we're not big. That's the number of people we have right now. So these are some of the facts and numbers about the university. We are, of course, one of the top universities. C9 League is, is the club, if you like, of one of the nine of the best universities in China. Our latest ranking on university, world university ranking, we were ranked 65 by the Times Higher Education. So all the major world university rankings rank us among top 100. So we have, as I said, 4 campuses. We are located in Nanjing, of course, and we are also located in Suzhou. We have 3 campuses in Nanjing and 1 campus in Suzhou. For your information, I know Mexico, or the United Mexican States, you have about 30-odd states, right? So we have 32. We have similar number of, we call provinces. Yeah, so Jiangsu province is one of the provinces in China, but this single province contributes more than 10% of China's GDP. And Nanjing is the capital city of Jiangsu province. Suzhou is another city of this province, but the most industrialized city in Jiangsu in China, and the largest industrial city in Jiangsu in China and in the world, especially for manufacturing. So it's a very, very vibrant, dynamic city for industry. So ideal place for developing engineering sciences. And Nanjing, I'm sure many of you know Shanghai. So Suzhou is here, Nanjing is here. It's not far away. So these 3 cities are the core cities in the so-called Yangtze River Delta area, which surely is the most developed part of China, or the richest, if you like. Right? So that's where we are geographically. So we have 3 campuses in Nanjing, a wonderful city, one of the 4 most historical cities in China. It used to be a capital city for many dynasties in China's history. And Suzhou, is a city of a wonderful mixture of modernity and fine tradition. In China, there is a well-known old Chinese saying, which says, if there's a paradise up in the sky, there are Suzhou and Hangzhou on the earth. So that's the indication of how wonderful it is to live and work there and study there in Suzhou. So this is a brand new campus, just finished construction this year. Now it's start to have full operation. So this new campus in Suzhou, as I said earlier, the most industrial city in China and also the largest industrial city in the world. So it's an ideal place for developing engineering sciences. I know many of you come from.
Sorry, can you microphone you?
Yes, better? Okay. So now we have decided to focus, to let Suzhou campus, our brand new campus, focus on engineering sciences. I know many of you come from the engineering sciences block. That's where we can also collaborate. Now let me say a few words before I get into the technical side of my talk. So we are always placing the great importance of international collaboration. As I always say, international collaboration is a must. It's an enterprise for the common good, for the betterment of the for the entire humanity. We have to work together to solve some of the burning issues facing the entire humanity, not only China and Mexico. So we create a lot of opportunities and launch from time to time program initiative to support both our people to go outside to collaborate, to spend some time outside China, and also to welcome and support people, friends from outside China, let's say from Ulan, to spend some time with us. These are, of course, an initiative for faculty members, but we also have similar programs for students. Actually, one of the Ulan students, she just returned from Nanjing University. She spent 8 weeks there. I just saw her, and I think she was very pleased to have the opportunity there. And she said to me she would like to go back to Nanjing University. Obviously, she enjoyed the time there. So I should also mention about the university in the area of artificial intelligence. We are very strong in AI. That's why I'm going to talk about AI. So AI is one of the strongest disciplines in Nanjing University. We are truly an international center, international hub for our AI research and development. So our research in AI covers basically all the major directions of AI, from basic theories like machine learning, and to my field, machine vision or computer vision, pattern recognition, natural language processing, etc., and large models, of course. And we pioneered in China last year. This is regarded as a role model in China. So we pioneered the teaching of AI as a compulsory module for all our students. No matter whether you study laws or humanities or computer science, you have to learn AI. And I teach the very first class of this course, and that is most welcome by all our students. So everybody at Nanjing University has to learn AI, both postgraduate students and undergraduate students. So now let me move on to the technical side of my talk. I know I need to finish the talk within 30-40 minutes, right? If I go page by page with elaboration, it will take me 3 hours. So I will put it simple. I'm sorry I don't have the time to elaborate, but I suppose AI is no stranger to you. At least you have heard of AI or read lots about AI from the media. So I will talk about 3 aspects of AI. First of all, where did AI come from, or where does AI come from? The history. Obviously, I will not going to focus on the history itself, but rather on the lessons, the inspirations, and the enlightenments that we can get from AI's development for the past almost 70 years. And then where AI is, what is the current state of art, the present, and also social impact. And then, of course, where AI is going, where AI is heading, the mega trends of AI. So, for many, many years, it has always been our dream as humanity to build machines which can think, learn, and act as we, human beings. Yeah? So that has always been a dream of the human society. And of course, for people like us who are studying science or technology or working, doing research in computer science. So almost 70 years ago, a group of about 10 young researchers from different disciplines, they organized a 2 months long summer school at Dartmouth College to discuss how to simulate human intelligence with machines. And of course, in 1956, the computer was 10 years old. The very first computer, as commonly thought, was released in Pennsylvania in 1946. So when the computer was 10 years old, so a group of young researchers gathered together to discuss how to simulate human intelligence with machines. So during this summer school, Professor John McCarthy, who unfortunately passed away in 2011, so he coined the term artificial intelligence, and that marked the birth of artificial intelligence. So artificial intelligence, so what is artificial intelligence? So in a scientific term, in a scientific way, to put it shortly, so AI is to study machine intelligence and to develop intelligent machines, right? And so in the past few years, I'm sure you have heard, concepts like artificial general intelligence. Have you heard of AGI? Yeah? AGI, yeah? No or yes? So people talk about artificial general intelligence, artificial super intelligence, artificial, strong intelligence. They mean more or less the same. So AGI really refers to AI, which can perform as well as or even better than human beings. So if you have AI of that sort of performance that is used, you can say I have AGI. Now on the opposite side, if the AI system is only designed to perform, some specific task, then we say this is artificial narrow intelligence or task-specific AI. Now, I spend a bit of time to talk about this basic concept because I will refer to these concepts, in my talk later on. And of course, artificial general or generative artificial intelligence, or GAI, or GNAI. So GAI refers to AI which can automatically generate digital contents like, text, speech, image, video, based on some predefined models or rules or algorithms, right? Yeah, so that's GAI. Now, the hottest, concept right now is embodied intelligence. So what is embodied intelligence? Embodied intelligence is AI with physical bodies. So that's what embodied intelligence, right? So the essential nature or the feature of embodied AI is interaction with the environment. So through the interaction with the environment, AI becomes smarter and smarter. And this is how we human beings or even animals to evolve in terms of intelligence. Yeah, so that's the essence. So the journey of AI, of course, is not always excitement. It's bumpy, up and downs, excitements and disappointments, right? I don't have the time to elaborate on the two major downwards, or valleys, and the three rising moments. Now AI is at its peak, because data-driven. So we have a lot of lessons, inspiration, enlightenment that we can take home from the almost 70 years development of AI. Now I only have time to read the titles, the bullet points. I have 6 points to share with you. In my view, these are the important lessons, inspiration, and enlightenment that we should take home after studying the history of AI for 70 years. Right? So following the development laws of a discipline is a prerequisite for its health progress, meaning every subject takes time to mature. Right? And secondly, basic research is very, very important. I always say, without Professor Jeffrey Hinton's preservation of artificial neural network studies, even during the time when artificial neural network was not so welcomed, there would be no deep models, large model, or deep learning. So that's why he received the Nobel Prize in physics for his contribution to artificial neural networks. So basic research is very important. Applications, very important. Some of you may know the very first, I should say, humanoid, Asimo. Have you heard of Asimo? Yeah, I noticed, people, if you're too young, you may have not heard of it, Asimo, right? People of my age, surely. Because Asimo, in my eye, was the very first humanoid released by Honda in year 2000. But unfortunately, 3 years ago in 2022, it's gone. It's basically dead. Why? Because he couldn't find a killer application with reasonable cost. So that's why application is very important. Number 4, interdisciplinary research is a shortcut to innovation. There's no shortcut for research, for scientific discovery or technical invention. But if there is a shortcut in quotes, that would be interdisciplinary research. Right? And number 5, tolerance of failure should be a essential part of supporting innovation, because you cannot always expect success in basic research or in scientific research. And finally, very important, especially when AI is so hot, it's so popular, there are bubbles, there are mysteries, there are excitements. Right? Setting realistic goals is essential to healthy growth of discipline. This is one of the very important lessons we learned from AI's history, because now people are talking about AGI, as I will come back to that later. Some people even say next year we will achieve AGI. Right? These two gentlemen were participants of the summer school in 1956. Like Professor Jeffrey Hinton, the later Professor Herbert Simon, he also won 2 prizes. Won the Nobel Prize in Computer Science, Tieniu Award, and also a Nobel Prize in Economics, like Professor Jeffrey Hinton. He won the Tieniu Award, and also last year, the Nobel Prize in Physics. You see, 60 years ago, Professor Simon said within 20 years, machine will be capable of doing any work that humans can do. Now, 6 years has passed. We are not there yet. Obviously, he was too optimistic. That's the lesson, because now people are talking about general AGI, to be achieved next year. I think they are too optimistic, right? I will come back to that point later on. So that's the first bit. It's really a preamble, the lessons, inspirations, enlightenment that we should learn from the past. Yeah. Otherwise, you will make the same mistake. And of course, AI is now at its peak, very popular. It's a buzzword. Right? If you go to China, in Beijing or Nanjing, even the taxi drivers will talk about AI with you. So popular, right? So where AI is now, and of course, people may have different opinions. So I try to share with you my observation. So how I see AI in my eyes. I try to use 8 bullet points to summarize what I think where AI is. Yeah. So I try to be rational, not too optimistic, not too pessimistic, to be rational, right? And of course, for the past 70 years, almost 70 years, AI has achieved a lot of breakthroughs, that's for sure. Basic for theory, key technology, and applications, right? So it has huge, has generated huge, tremendous impact, inferences on our daily life. So 8 bullet points to reflect what I think where AI is today. The first bullet point is very simple. Task-specific AI is becoming mature because it is designed to perform a specific task, so it can do better than human beings. For example, face recognition. Yeah, face recognition. Right? Now AI system can do a very good job for face recognition. Right? Even you have undergone surgery or other modifications to your face. But of course, a face cannot distinguish twins. Yeah, if you have twins, you have problem, right? Not twins, even for father and sons, they may look very much alike. For example, when they're young, the junior bush and senior bush look very similar. So the next slide is my own work, and that's why I studied iris recognition. My own work. Iris is the ring-shaped area between the 2 red circles. The minutiae features, the structures, are very unique for everybody. After the child is 1.5 years old, that minutiae point, that minutiae structure, fixed, like fingerprint, across your lifetime. So ideal for identifying people, right? I'm happy to say now, in today's China, all the major coal mines are using my technology for time and attendance of coal miners. Why? Because for coal miners, fingerprint not really useful. Yeah, scratches, dirt, yeah? What about face recognition? Yes, when they go to work, no problem. But when they finish work, they look like this. Not really good for face recognition. But iris, no problem, you see? So now all the major coal mines are using that technology. And of course, iris recognition can be used not only for coal miners, but also for identifying missing children, missing elderly people when they have lost memory. And this is now used in China for identifying missing children. And of course, if the person is standing away from me, farther away, I don't have their, his or her face, fingerprint, iris. So how can I identify it? I can identify them by the way she or he walks. And this is called gait recognition. This is also my own work. So if AI is designed to identify people based on the way they walk, it can do a really good job. And these have been used for crime suspect identification, public security. Very useful, very useful. So I don't have time to play the videos. I have a lot of video clips, but I don't think I have the time. Yeah. So the second bullet point, again, I can only read the headlines. Large models have really achieved important breakthroughs. People are talking about large language models, LLM, yeah? In 2018, OpenAI released GPT-1, 2019, GPT-2, and November 2022, ChatGPT, yeah? And 2023, GPT-4. And last February 2024, Thora. And July this year, GPT-5, yeah? And of course, there are a lot of other large language models, including one from China. I'm sure you have heard of it, DeepSeek. Have you heard of DeepSeek? So DeepSeek really made a headlines. Why? Because for the very first time, it's an open source large language model. Even though OpenAI has released many large language models, but OpenAI is not really open, at least for the past few years. Now they are trying to open. Right? So DeepSeek made a headline because it is open source. Yeah, it achieved similar performance without using that much GPU and data. So that's very important. Yeah. And of course, now generative AI is also becoming very popular. So I use the word rejuvenating because automatically generating digital content is not new, even though the term generative AI is new. So that's why I use generative AI is rejuvenating to describe now the growing popularity of generative AI, right, driven by large models. So that's very easy to understand. So this is one of the aspects of where AI is. So now we can generate a lot of things, text, code, computer code, and speech, audio, of course, and images. I work on image recognition. So it's very hard to tell the difference between, AI-generated images and natural images, even though my group are also developing algorithm to detect automatically whether it is generated by AI or it's from natural, or like from cameras. So you can generate, of course, video. Yeah, I don't think we need to play the video, right? And the digital human generation as well. So that's the bullet point 3. Number 4, embodied intelligence and humanoid robots has drawn much attention. So a lot of VC goes to embodied intelligence, because how we should push AI go and further. As I will come back to that point later, the current development strategy of making AI stronger, more capable by using more and more data, more and more GPU, this strategy is not sustainable. So what is the right strategy? The right strategy, in my view, is to learn from the nature, from how we become smarter. And that's why embodied intelligence is important. Right? So it's getting very popular. For example, both in the international landscape, also back in China, some of the major national research programs, take embodied intelligence as one of the priority research areas. And sorry, this is in Chinese. It's basically every year, we have the National Congress, where the premier will deliver a report from the central government. So in this year's National Congress, the premier specifically mentioned embodied intelligence. You see the underlined in blue, the 4 characters says embodied intelligence in Chinese. And of course, if you talk about the papers, exponential. And of course, in the United States also programs regarding humanoid and embodied intelligence, especially being driven by large models. So different types of humanoids with embodied intelligence capabilities, are basically keeping emerging. I show here a few examples, and also a Chinese version, which became very popular. Every Chinese New Year, we have a huge gala, performance. Lots of people watch it. I did it. So in this year's gala of the Spring Festival back in China, so Unity, this small company, now is now getting very popular. So they made a debut of their humanoid. And of course, other companies also released their humanoid, and this is from an American company Figure. Right? So embodied intelligence and humanoid really have drawn a lot of attention from worldwide. And of course, the robot doesn't have to look at humans. It could look like a fish. Can we play the video? I cannot play the video. Oh, it's here. No, I cannot play it. No, oops.
Sorry. ¿Podemos poner el video desde allá? Por favor, Alejandro.
No?
Let me see. Yes, see Sí, sí, ya lo van a traer.
That's it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You can see, this is work done by my colleagues back home in China. So, robotic fish, right? It looks like real, right? So if you let the fish have the ability to interact with the environment, it will become even smarter. And that is an example of embodied intelligence. Yeah? So that's the bullet point number 4. Number 5, AI for science is developing very rapidly. That is the deep integration of AI into the process of scientific research to help us accelerate scientific discovery or technical invention. It's getting very popular and it's become part of the national strategy for AI, both in the United States, in China, in many other countries, probably in Mexico as well, because that will help accelerate scientific discovery. Yeah. And of course, that also brings challenges. That's a different issue, right? So, AI for science is very popular. And the best example is AI is using AI to predict the 3D structure of proteins and to simulate or predict the interaction of molecules. Yeah, and this is how or why the Nobel Prize in Chemistry last year, went to these 3 gentlemen. And I'm sure you know the gentleman in the middle, right? Yeah, Demis Hassabis. So that's for biology and life sciences, and for vaccine development, chip design, weather forecast, environment science, engineering, and agriculture. And that's the 6th. The second. That's the other bullet point I want to share with you. Number 6, AI is accelerating the empowerment of numerous industries. In China, we are placing the greatest importance on the deployment of AI, in basically all major sectors of industry, and also daily life, social governance of society, etc. So agriculture, mining, ports, logistics, and government services, legal service, auditing, finance, in particular our profession, education. I say AI is really having profound impacts on our profession, education, the way we teach, the way students learn, the way we assess student performance. We have a lot of challenges. So how do you know the homework is done by the student, not by AI? How much of the paper is written by AI, and how much is it by the student himself? These are all challenges. So that will involve paradigm shift, the way we teach, the way we learn, the way we assess, the way we manage. So it's an all-round impact on education. Right? Sorry, I don't have time to share with you more thoughts, more observations, more insights. Number 7, the social impact of AI are becoming increasingly prominent, very much so, especially with the popularity of generative AI. Anybody can use large models, open source large model, to generate anything you like. Right? But the abuse can be a problem. Right? So AI, on the positive side, of course, can help boost economy, improve services, make our life easier, more convenient. But on the challenging side, it brings up safety issues, legal issues, privacy issues, many others. I can give you a lot of examples. On the positive side, of course, we cannot afford just ignoring AI. So the use of AI, the deployment of AI in industry can help improve efficiency, productivity, very significantly. If other people are doing it, you are not, then you are not stuck. They're very simple, right? And of course, because of the deployment of AI, the level of automation is, becoming even more so. So in China, you see factories where there are absolutely no people. You see ports where you don't see anybody, or shops, nobody. Convenience shop, fully automatic, no people involved at all. And of course, impacts on employment. Some of the jobs will definitely go. But professors, I think, we are safe. I don't think AI will replace teachers, tutors, professors, governors, because we need to make decisions, right? The abuse of generative AI really poses significant problems for society. Ideological challenges, other areas of security. I don't know whether you have received fake information, to ask you to transfer some money. I did, right? So a lot of challenges, and of course, personal information, privacy protection are becoming even harder because smart devices, algorithms, for them, it's very easy to dig up your personal information because some of the large models may, when they were trained, they may have already used your personal information, your behavior data on the cyberspace. There's no secret, no secret. So personal information and privacy are becoming much fragile with significantly increased difficulty in protection. And ethical issues, so obviously. People are talking about brain-computer interface, but to what extent it can be allowed to use, right? And legislations, in my view, lags behind, right? And also algorithm bias, machine discrimination. Yeah. I always quote this example because it is absolutely unacceptable, to mislabel human beings as animals. Terrible. But it happened. Right? So if the training data is biased, the output, the model will be biased. It's a lot of problems. And of course, intellectual property rights of AI generated content. So who owns IPR? Autonomous driving, even though in China, like in Beijing, Hong Kong, and other cities, Wuhan, unmanned taxis now getting very popular. But if traffic accident happens or occurred, who should be liable for? Who should take the responsibility? So all these issues are remaining issues without, satisfactory solutions or answers. Right? So I said I will use 8 bullet points to share with you how I see today's AI, where AI is in my eyes. I have done 7 points, yeah? So the last point is about general AI or AGI, artificial general intelligence. Right? So how far are we from AGI? How do you think? Next year or the year after? Yeah, let me quote the words basically verbatim from 4 big names. Yeah. First, Elon Musk. So he said this last year. He says Elon Musk says artificial general intelligence or AGI will be achieved in 2 years. 2 years next year. Yeah, we will see. This is what Elon Musk said. Sam Altman is also a household name in AI. Yeah, I noticed some of you are shaking heads. Disagree, right? He said, maybe within 1,000 days, well, a few years, 3-4 years, yeah? And then the third gentleman, Hassabis. So he's less optimistic, but still, in my view, still very optimistic. He says we are about 10 years away from artificial general intelligence. Most recently, Professor Jeffrey Hinton. Yeah. He has, my highest respect as a scientist, right? He says, I believe AGI could be achieved in 10 years. In my view, they are all too optimistic. When I read the media to know their predictions about AGI, I cannot stop thinking the prediction made by the late Professor Herbert Simon 6 years ago. He said in 1965, he said within 20 years, that is by 1985, machine can do anything that we can do as humans. Of course, that's, didn't happen. So I think they are too optimistic because there are a lot of problems with even the most advanced AI, today's AI. If there is a general purpose intelligence system in the world, the only one I can think is our human brain. Yeah, even though, nobody is really omnipotent, right? Okay. So I can list a lot of problems associated with the current AI, even the most advanced. ChatGPT, all the large models have hallucinations. This problem is not solved. I'm very frustrated with it. Yeah. Logic confusion, repetition, and lack of clarity. Right. For example, if you ask ChatGPT how many letter E's are in DeepSeek, the answer is 3. A very simple, question, but wrong answer. Yeah, not surprising because the output of a large model is based on prediction, statistics, based on probability, calculation. Agree? So, these 4 video clips are generated by Sora. But I must say it's not by the latest version of Sora, latest version. Nobody around, on the treatment like that. You'll notice the basketball, exploded. And the number of little wolves changes from time to time. You see? And you know why? I have listed reasons on the left-hand side. Because it really doesn't understand the law of the nature, the physical constraints, you see? So that's why it generates funny, videos or video clips, against common sense. Right? I can have many such examples. I went to the bank to sit by the river. Some models do not understand what does it mean by bank. It's not the bank where you save your money. It's the age of the river. So when a word has multiple meanings, ambiguity can be a problem for large models. Right? Basically, no affection, no empathy. Right? So 10 years ago, in 2015, I launched in China the Chinese Congress on Artificial Intelligence. Now it's one of the popular conferences in China in AI. So a year after, in 2016, 9 years ago, I was invited to give a keynote. I used the 4 years, 4 notes to summarize where AI was 9 years ago. So when you talk about intelligence, yes. When you talk about wisdom, a high level of intelligence, no. When you talk about IQ, maybe yes. When you talk about EQ, no, because no emotion, no affections. When you talk about computation, yes, AI involves a lot of computation. But when you talk about calculation or calculating, no. Calculating means strategy. Yeah, this guy is very calculating. I know calculating is a negative word, but that involves strategy. You know what I mean? So we humans can be very calculating. How much money I should spend on this and how much I should spend there. AI, no. So in 2016, AlphaGo, yes, played Go very well, but it couldn't play other games like chess. Now it can. So, almost 10 years gone. We have some progress here, but basically no progress, not much in the other 3 categories. So it's not easy. That's why in my view, generative AI, this is a long spelling, AGI, not GAI, sorry. It should be AGI, not GAI. Artificial general intelligence has a long way to go. So it's a typo. A long way to go. Not next year, not in 3 years' time, not in 10 years' time. Long way to go. Right? So where AI is now, to summarize, I think AI is still at its infancy, or early stages, with many limitations and fundamental issues to solve. Well, that, for people like me who are working in AI, that sounds good because meaning I can still keep my job because there's a lot of problems to do, a lot of things to do in AI, right? So yes, very knowledgeable, large models, AI, very knowledgeable, yeah, but limited intelligence, basically no strategy, basically no emotion, no affection. That this is where AI is, in my eye, in my view. You don't have to agree. This is truly my own thoughts, how I see AI as it is. So this is a present and a social impacts. Let me spend a little bit of time, not too much. I notice it's already, 33 past 11. Past 11, yes. Sure? I can talk to you 2 o'clock in the afternoon then. So the past, AI, of course, has a long way to go because, as I say, there are many limitations, many fundamental issues to solve. For example, hallucinations is a problem not solved. But where AI is heading is if you are supervising your students or if you are students and doing research for a PhD, so what you should focus, what are the promising research directions that I can probably take as my, as my thesis research. Right? Again, I try to use 8 bullet points to share with you what I see as the mega trends of AI or what I see as the promising directions for AI research for years to come. Yeah. Overall, AI has a long way to go. It's still a promising research direction for research, and it is a promising direction for research and development. Because if you look back of humanity's history for the past 200, 300 years, the human society has experienced three major technical revolutions or industrial revolutions. So these two terms quite often used interchangeably. So the first technical revolution or industrial revolution was marked by the invention of the steam engine in Scotland in 1776. So the widespread deployment of the steam engine took the human society into what I call the era of mechanization. So the steam engine and things like that were really to expand humans' physical power, right? And now we're experiencing, people are talking about the fourth industrial revolution, and the driving force is artificial intelligence. And artificial intelligence is driving the fourth industrial revolution to expand human beings' brain power. That is obviously very important, very important. So that's why AI is set to go, for a long way. So what are the mega trends? Where AI is heading towards? 8 bullet points. Again, you don't have to agree with me, but this is truly, I think, these are the promising areas that we can, pay attention to. First, from task-specific AI to multitask AI. Here, I avoid using the term artificial general intelligence because, in my view, artificial general intelligence is far, far away. But to let the AI system do multiple things is possible, and it is a trend. For example, AlphaGo can play Go and also can play international chess, Chinese chess, and other games as well. That is possible, and this is already happening. Second, from AI to human-machine hybrid intelligence. Some people are frightened by AI because they are misled to believe AI and human intelligence are zero-sum games. No, that's not true. Because machines have machine strength. We human beings have our own strength. The two can work together to create hybrid intelligence or augmented intelligence. And this is now also written in some of the national research programs in China, in the United States, in the UK. So it's become a clear trend of AI research. To have AI and human intelligence to work together, or machine and human work together. So maybe in not too far away a future, one of your colleagues is a machine. So human-machine coexistence will be the new normal in human society to work together. So number 3, from labor-intensive AI to autonomous intelligent systems. At the moment, training AI models requires a lot of human intervention, human labor. For example, preparing the data for training large models, very, very tedious. So if you know the English word arduous means labor intensive, a lot of work. So in my view, many of the AI represents artificial intelligence, also represents arduous intelligence, because the level of intelligence depends on how much human labor is involved. Yeah. For example, if your AI is trained to recognize people by face, then you have to train the model by giving the model a lot of labeled or annotated images, face image. You have to figure out which part of the image is face and who it is. That requires a lot of human work. Very tedious. Right? And this is, of course, not the way forward. This is not the way we become smarter and smarter. So we become smarter by maybe learning only with a piece of paper, reading instructions, without so much data. consume so much food. You know, 1 cup of water, I can survive for 1 day, doing a lot of things. Yeah, so it's very energy efficient, right? So that's why I say biological inspiration is a way forward for developing more efficient artificial intelligence algorithms. So that's why the cross-fertilization between computer science, AI, and life science or neuroscience researchers is very important. I said earlier, shortcut. These are the shortcuts. And this is why embodied intelligence is becoming important. So we should develop AI in a way the nature evolves. Human intelligence or animal intelligence or biological intelligence evolves. So we should develop AI in a similar way, like we develop our intelligence. Right? And this is how, or this is why embodied intelligence is becoming important, why humanoids is becoming important, popular. Number 4, also important. I said earlier, I will come back to this point now. From brute force AI to lightweight dexterous AI, my own words. You don't read it from the media or from any other scientific paper. This is purely my words. Brute force AI. Why I say brute force AI? Because current large model involves so much computing, so much data. In my view, this is not sustainable. Now, the release of ChatGPT made a headline. Agree? The release of Sora made a headline. Yeah? But what about the release of GPT-5? Basically, not much. Why? Even though some automen, spoke a lot before the release, but the eventual release of GPT-5 didn't make a headline because the improvement of performance is not that significant. So this is the indication of the fact that simply by adding more and more GPU, computing power, data, is not the way forward to improve the capability of AI, right? Because at the moment, high intelligence comes at the cost of high energy consumption. This is not sustainable. Not to mention the challenge we have with climate change. Now big models or the AI industry is a huge consumer of energy. So we have to go to take a different way. So developing more efficient and lightweight AI is crucial. So that's why I mentioned earlier, one of the other points I shared with you. Learn from biology, learn from nature, learn from how our human brain works. So biology inspired intelligence. To develop AI algorithms by inspiration from the mechanisms of biological intelligence. Number 5, from rigid AI to effective AI, I said AI system basically no affection, not empathetic. So we should make AI more warm-hearted and more understanding. And this is very important if you want to use AI for example, for taking care of children, elderly people, then empathy, affection is the key. In my view, this is one of the very promising directions to go forward, even though I know the Mexican population is not that aged. But in China, the population is getting, the aging is a problem. Japan also, Korea, actually many other countries as well, right? So number 6, this is also very obvious. In my words, I think one of the mega trends is from black box AI to trustworthy AI. At the moment, the vast majority of AI algorithms or model systems can give you a result, but with no explanation because they do not understand or they don't know how to explain how they get the results. So it's a black box. It's like a black box. So explainable, reliable, and trustworthy AI is much needed. So that's why more and more efforts are putting into this area, this direction, to make AI explainable, more reliable, very important. Number 7, AI will further accelerate profound changes in all walks of life. That's easy to understand. change the way we do research, change the way we learn, change the way we teach, change the way we do farming. Sorry, I don't have the time to get into details. Scientific research, we're talking about paradigm shift. So the human society, in terms of scientific research, has experienced paradigm shift from empirical to theoretical to simulation to data-driven, now AI-driven. The new paradigm. People call it the fifth paradigm. Scientific research, education, I already mentioned, agriculture, transportation, agriculture in China, now, AI-enabled farming. It's getting popular. And lastly, the mega trend of AI research, where we should put more attention to, is the governance of AI to solve some of the ethical social problems. So AI global governance issues will become increasingly prominent because they will become increasingly prominent. So solving these issues is obviously going to be more and more important. These are only some of the questions I have in my mind, on top of my head, which require answers, right? Many of them, right? Especially the abuse of large models, generative AI, really generate a lot of problems for the human society. Fake information, right? Fake information. Too much on the internet. This is a real-life case in Hong Kong. There were a video conference, several people involved, but only one person was real. All the others were virtual. But unfortunately, this only physical person was eventually the guy who was cheated, involving a loss of 200 million Hong Kong dollars. It's a real case. Right? So that caused really huge loss. Serious problem. I can give you more examples of the problems, caused by deepfake, caused by the abuse of generative AI, the abuse of large models. Even though, especially when more and more large models are open, driven by DeepSeek, the release of DeepSeek. Right? So this is all I really want to share with you, and I do have some take-home message for you. And this is my very last slide. So AI, as I said, for almost 70 years has achieved huge breakthroughs, but still with many limitations. It's a long way to go. And AI has become a very important driving force, for the new round of, industrial revolution, and also, has a huge impact on the international landscape. And also, we should stay cool when AI is hot. Yeah. Stay rational, pragmatic. Don't be too optimistic. And of course, don't be too permissive as well. Right? Be rational. When it is hot, you need to stay cool, with a cool brain. Very important. Basic research, talent training, and of course, legal issues. And last but not least, the international. I have one more point to mention before I mention the international side. I should also say AI is not a panacea. It's not omnipotent. It still has many limitations. But when other people are using AI, are harvesting AI dividend, it is absolutely unwise not to learn, understand, or embrace AI. Otherwise, while you're waiting, it's AI dividend. Other people are harvesting AI. If other people are using AI to have AI dividend and you are not, then while you're waiting is AI divide. So we cannot afford not to use AI. Last but not least, I firmly believe the international community should work more closely to address many AI governance issues for the betterment of the entire humanity. Because humanity, no matter whether you are, we are all living on this small planet. These are the common challenges we face. And that's why 2 years ago, our national president, President Xi Jinping, launched the initiative for calling for international global governance of AI. So this is all I have to share with you. I thank you for your attention and thank you for being here. Thank you.
Would you like to stand in here, or would you like to sit down for the question and answer?
I'll sit by you. Beside you.
If you want to.
All right, okay. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Thank you very much. I don't know, Dr. Ramirez, if you want to join us in here. Let's start for the question and answers session. If you have a question. Si tienen preguntas en español, pueden traducirse. Doctor, please.
Dr. Tang, thank you so much for your exciting, enlightening, and most precise lecture. I'm sure that this audience, as well as those that are online, will greatly appreciate, and they have a million questions. So I'm privileged to ask you the first one. It's a question and a proposal at the same time. Perhaps it is serendipity that you are here at this moment, but currently at the UNAM, we are facing a crisis that goes into the risks that you have described regarding safety. In Spanish, there are no words for, as in English, for safety and security. We only have seguridad física, which is physical security, perhaps. But recently there was a very serious imitation of an attack at a school at our university. And of course, there are technical measures that are now economically available. There's a company in the United States that sells the proper instrumentation. But what I'm most interested in is that at the institute, this institute, during the pandemic, we developed a temperature sensor for ingress or egress for certain localities. But we are very much interested in developing with you, with Nanjing University, a system that is not a dumb metal detector, but a weapons detector, so that accidents or events such as that what recently happened, I won't go and delve into it perhaps later, but we are much interested in developing such an instrument which would be not as costly as the one that is now available in the United States. So I would ask you if it's possible to have this interaction with you in the future developments in a collaboration for this project. As you're an expert in this area and you have so precisely anticipated many of the questions, knowing where AI is heading, how fast are we going, and if it is a good thing to do it, if it's sustainable. So just one last question, perhaps. If you could explain to this audience what groking is, if you're familiar with the word. Thank you so much for your time.
Well, thank you. It's not a little question, it's a big question. Thank you very much. I appreciate your kind words about my talk. Yes, I'm here really, as I said, with your leadership, to seek opportunity, for NGU and UNAM to work together. It would be wonderful that we can work together in the area of AI to address some of the issues you mentioned earlier, and to make AI safer and more reliable, and of course make sure it does good things for humanity, for China, for Mexico. Yes, the opportunity is there. As I said at the beginning of my talk, we have launched several initiatives that will be able to support people like you to join us as a visiting professor, a visiting researcher, to work together on AI, on issues of common interest. And of course, we can also think of ways of maybe establishing a joint research center, a joint research lab for sustainable collaboration. That is, for collaboration which can last for a longer time. Yes, it is most welcome. This is one of the reasons why I'm here at UNAM. And yes, we are certainly mostly interested, in the collaboration. And thank you for your indication of interest in working with us. And I hope I can see you in Nanjing, or in Suzhou. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Professor Tan. And is there another question in the public? Okay, here and then there. Yes.
Thank you very much. Good morning, Professor Tan. Just a quick question, with regards to the energy that is required for these data centers to process all the information? Well, the energy and water. Because, well, what I would like to know is where in China is located the data center that processes all the information for DeepSeek to check if there is, let's say, an environmental footprint that may limit the development of artificial intelligence for, well, all the purposes that one can imagine. And thank you very much for your talk. It was really interesting.
Well, thank you. As I said, at the moment, all the major large models, large language models involve the consumption a lot of GPUs, and for reasons you understand, we do not have access to even the most advanced GPUs in the world, but we have alternative solutions, and more important, as I said earlier, simply by adding more GPUs and more data, it's not a way forward. It's not sustainable. So we are developing algorithms that you can perform hopefully equally well without using that much GPU or that much data. And so I think this is the way forward, and that's why one of the reasons why DeepSeek made a headline is because, as I said earlier, it actually achieved state-of-the-art performance or even better performance in some aspects without using the largest number of GPUs and large number of data. So that's the way forward. So we, my colleagues are also working hard to develop, for example, novel chips, which are more efficient, computational-wise or energy-wise, right? And also algorithms, which are more efficient, which doesn't require, a lot of computation. So that's the way forward, and I think that's the right way. So thank you. Yeah.
Thank you. We have another question here. Yes.
Right? Yeah.
Hi, Dr. Tan. I'm Luis, a master's student, and my question would be...
Are you doing a PhD?
No.
Yeah.
My question would be, what recommendations would you give to people like me who doesn't fully understand or apply artificial intelligence because we feel sometimes threatened by artificial intelligence?
Yeah. What is your research area?
I'm a structural engineer. It's not about artificial intelligence
sure,
right now,
sure.
but I'm the kind of people who feel threatened by AI.
Thank you for the question. It's actually very important, especially for people who are not working in the area of AI. As you saw, on one of the points on my last slide, one of the take-home messages I try to share with you is the following: that AI is not a panacea, right? It is not omnipotent, but when other people are taking advantage of AI, it would be very unwise not to use AI. So for people who are only AI users, not having AI as a research area or as a research career, I think it is necessary for you to understand what are the basics of AI. For example, the basic principle for all of how the major large models work, the basic concept, the basic principles. Without knowing the basic principles of these large language models, you probably won't be able to get the best from the large language models, from AI models. So then the better you know AI, the better results you can get from AI, even though you don't have to be an AI expert. Or if you are an expert, of course, it's better, the best, but you don't have to be an AI expert. And that's why we launched, as a pioneer in China, AI as a compulsory course for all our students to make sure, no matter whether they study policy, politics or philosophy, or history, they master the basics of AI now, understand how AI models work. This way will help them make or to take best advantage of AI. And I'm not sure whether I have answered your question. Thank you.
Thank you. We have questions from the social media. So, Amalia, please read them.
How do you see the intersection of generative AI and the field of biometrics evolving?
Sorry, I didn't quite understand you.
¿Me repites otra vez? ¿En español?
¿Cómo ven la interacción entre
Yeah,
la...
my colleague can
Okay.
Just use.
Which question? Okay. The question is, how do you see the intersection of generative AI and the field of biometrics evolving?
Biometrics. Wow. Biometrics is another area of my research. So this is from one of the virtual participants, yeah? Right. Okay, so the question is about the intersection between generative AI and biometrics. Very good question, very technical question. Biometrics, biometrics involve face recognition, fingerprint recognition, iris recognition. So one of the major challenges that the biometrics currently faces is exactly generative AI. So if you I don't know whether the gentleman or lady is hearing my answer. So if you are working on biometrics, then the detection of lifeless, whether the subject is actually from a real person, is becoming more important. So we are developing algorithms to check whether the person in front of the camera or whether the biometric data is from a real person or is actually generated by AI, by generative AI. Yes, it is a challenge, and we are working on that. So a very good question.
Okay,
it is indeed, generative AI is indeed a very tough challenge faced biometrics. Very good question.
No, thank you very much.
Thank you.
We are very sorry because the agenda of Dr. Tan is very tight, so we have to finish the question and answers. We are very pleased and very grateful for Dr. Tan and his crew to being here. We are very honored. I don't know if Dr. Ramirez or Dr. Sandoval would like to say something to close the event.
I'm sorry, I'm not able to answer all your questions, but if you go to Nanjing University, I can spend hours with you to answer your questions.
No, thank you very much, Dr. Tieniu. For us, as already said, it's an honor to having you here. As you can see, we had a lot of students that are very interested in this topic, and maybe we'll let you know later on other questions that is not possible to answer today. But we have also interest from my part to have a collaboration in all the programs, all the initiatives that you already presented today, and maybe this is the first step to have this kind of collaborations. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Dr. Sandoval. That's okay.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. How are you? I think my colleague want to take a photo, yeah? Oh, thank you. Nice. Yeah. Oh, okay.
Almost. Muchas gracias a todos por haber venido. Lamento que no hubiera más tiempo de preguntas y respuestas. Muchas gracias.